I don't think people are being helped very well. We're in a mental health crisis, and I'm astonished at the stories that I hear when I've trained hundreds of hypnotherapists. I'm like, why can't I just match them up with that person? Think about, well, why don't you get out there, go where people are and do this? And it's just an example, and it was me, okay, so my example. I was in Jersey, and I thought, okay, I need people on my own. I need people. Things weren't good. So when I went out, I went to the beach, and I was in this idyllic environment, and there's this lovely beach, and it's summer, and it's full of people, and there's kids running around and everything. Then I went to a bar, and there's people having drinks, and I was talking. I've never felt so much like a ghost in my entire life. So it made me a lot worse, because I thought,
because you
I'm
can still
not
be
part
around all those people and
it made me
still
worse.
be.
Yeah.
And
So it's a lens you look through.
Meet the client where they are, as sad as it is. They don't think there's much ahead of them. Meet them on that level. Okay, what can we do in the present?
Not having that motivation to.
I think that's what is me right now.
Yeah.
I think it is me right now. I feel like I'm talking about myself right now.
Law of attraction. Yes, this is good.
Yeah.
There's the future, but not knowing what to do with it.
Yeah.
I have so many dreams,
absolutely.
so many what I want to do, but I don't have that. I don't know what to do. I don't know really how to get from here to there.
You've generalised. You've got this huge thing, all these dreams, and everything's big, and I don't know what to do because there's so much I can do, and I'm just got so much that I'm procrastinating. I'm not even going to choose any of them because it's all so big. You as the therapist don't know what would please the person.
No, and you
So
wouldn't
what-
suggest that either. You
And
would
don't.
say, because that's your
Because-
walk,
yeah.
that's
Go and have a
you,
walk,
isn't it?
go to the beach. Well,
Yeah.
my conscious mind was saying to my unconscious, and my unconscious, I don't like it. So we don't know how to cheer another person up. But with hypnotherapy, you can go for happiness because you can't get there from there. And as Kasper's saying, go to the present moment. Don't go for happiness, go for relief. So in the present moment, what's going to bring me some relief? Well, I've got some ice cream in the fridge, but that'll make me fat. Who cares? The present moment at the moment is more important than your weight. So go and have the damn ice cream if it's going to make you feel better. So in this red hot present moment, what's going to bring you some relief from the suffering? If you're suffering, I don't know what to do, go for relief. Go for relief first. It's stepping stones. Go for relief. Feeling better.
The spiral, and I think the
Momentum's got you.
As you were saying, it's like
And it's went
empowerment.
back again.
Well, it's one step at a time. Okay. Scooted ahead in that video.
If depression is kind of like a powerlessness, as in like, I don't know what to do and there's no point, and that sort of thinking, then to recognise that there is something I can do in the next couple of seconds that might make me feel better, it's rebuilding that sense of my choices have impact.
And even if that choice is, I told you that wasn't going to make me feel better, now I feel worse. Okay, let's do a different choice then.
And they've had like
The power is in the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you saying to us a long time ago about how a shower, like, just brings you back into the moment. I
Yes.
never in my life thought of that. I have a shower every day, but ever since you've said that, I'm so more conscious of my shower and enjoying those 5 minutes I'm in the shower.
I'm
It's so
so
bizarre, but
pleased.
it's a simple little thing that to somebody that might be feeling not themselves.
And especially if you're on your own, doing something that's the body, even putting the cold water on and putting not just your hands but your whole arms in the sink or something and feeling the water and things that can bring you back to the present moment. I mean, did things, what worked for you when when people were talking to you? So I know at some point I said, has anybody actually spoken to you? They're just going to give you meds or they're going to talk to you and do stuff.
That's...
I think that's it, isn't it? As we say, grounding the body, or realising that you're not just a big head. You've got a body that, and you know, people that live on their own, they can just stare into space for hours and not always at the time, because nobody's there to kind of say, oh, it's dinner time, or it's this, or it's that. And that kind of idea of being back in the body, being back in the body, oh, I'm back in the body, recognising that a lot of this is about your nervous system. And if it's a chemical imbalance, that realising on a practical level, I feel like it could be chemical, kind of takes the emphasis off I should feel better by doing this or by doing that.
Self-blame, isn't it?
But at least I can go and wash my hair, you know. Oh, I actually feel, yeah. And I think that sometimes the unexpected, because forgive me if I'm wrong, because it could be different for different people, but sometimes somebody's going to come and sit and talk to you about your depression, or somebody's going to come and sit, so it's like an occasion. You know, I don't want to do it anyway, but I've got to do it. And they're not saying the right thing, and they're trying their best, but they don't understand and all of it. And then go away, and perhaps a couple of days later, somebody comes to empty the trash and actually says exactly the right thing at the right time. It's like, it's not that the person that's talking to you is wrong, but maybe sometimes they catch you off guard where you're not defended against being helped. You know, they can't help me, they don't understand. And somebody, a law of attraction, somebody's entering the trash, or some stranger in the middle of the street helps you because they see you with a walking cane or something and carries you shopping up a flight of stairs. You'll never see them again, but that lifted, you know, that was kind of an inadvertent helping. They didn't know anything about my circumstances, but they lifted me. I thought, oh, thank you. Yeah.
Do you feel like you're searching for something that you don't know what?
Notice what the body's saying, and if it's not tangible, and if they can't pinpoint it, and we're going into all the mind things of but the unconscious is kind of pointing to something, and then doing things. Remember metaphor processing as well.
So we can give you the basics and the rules of what depression might look like and how to maybe deal with it, but it comes down to the same theory every time, and it has to be client-led on what changed, what's stopping you, what do you want to be different,
those questions,
when did it start,
are invaluable.
So it's all right to be a little bit worried that you don't know what to do, because you won't know what to do until you've heard your client say it.
Yeah. It's your meta-questioning. I mean, do you ever use your meta-questioning thing? Did we give you the meta-questioning?
Yeah.
So it's always back to that. It's the meta-questioning, because we're never to know.
Yeah.
And for you to think, well, I don't really know what to do with this client, you're not going to know until they're sat in front of you and the conscious mind says its thing, and you get to the point where the conscious mind says, well, I don't know. And then you say, well, when your conscious mind doesn't know, it's great sitting with a hypnotherapist because we talk to the unconscious. Yeah. And we've got various tools like the metaphor processing, like Gestalt, you Gestalt it out. But all of the tools that you have are towards the same ends. The person doesn't know how to help themselves, but luckily they're with you. And the last thing we want you to think, which you will think, is, I don't know how to help them. Well, my conscious mind doesn't know how to help them at the moment. Oh, I've got this box of tools, I've got these meta-questions, and something that they say in response to one of your meta-questions will make you think, oh, that sounds like Gestalt. Oh, I think I'll use control panel. Oh, I think I'll use new behaviour generator. Because when we gather like this and we want to find out what can we use for a client with such and such, you might see 10 smokers and deal with them all completely differently because they smoke because. Yeah. And you're trying to bring conscious control over something that's unconscious, and it used to be really playful and happened anyway. And so when the person, no matter what it is, can explain to me what it is that they want and for what reasons they think it's not happening, then you've got a starting point, and you can kind of keep asking them questions along that line. No matter how personal or whatever, if they're prepared to sit and talk to you about it, I remembered me thinking, I've got no right to be embarrassed or anything about this because they're asking me a very practical question. So all I've got to do is bat it back to them and say, for what reason do you think it's not happening? Without the person sat in front of you and the magic of meta-questioning, it's all illusory. It's all your own imagination thinking, what if they ask me something I can't handle? Well, you don't know, like, until they're sat in front of you and you're asking the questions.
I'm really worried about before my first paid hypnotherapy session. I was so worked up, and I already knew he was to stop smoking. So I watched the videos, I read all my notes. I was like, I can do this. Then I was like, what if they say it's because of this, or what if they started because of that? And I was panicking way more than obviously they would be.
And you said you did our Stop Smoking videos,
Yes.
which covered every scenario, but you're still thinking there was a different scenario.
Because you'd made such a big thing to us of they might tell you it's for smoking, but they might turn up and go, actually, I hate my job.
Oh, right,
Could it be something else?
Yeah,
and
okay,
then I was
yeah.
like, worrying about it, and it was my first one. And then once I got him into trance and relaxed, I then thought, oh, I forgot to ask him what he doesn't like to eat. Because I was going to do the, I can't remember what it's called.
Aversion
I was
therapy.
going to do that as well. And I forgot because I didn't remember to ask him.
Ask him. I think still
I
talk.
didn't. I carried on with new behaviour generator.
Yes.
And he smoked for 40 years, still now 6 weeks later, hasn't touched a cigarette.
Thank you.
His wife is telling everybody about me, and I've seen them a couple of times since. And it was wonderful. He's not aware that I was really
Of course,
panicked
and they don't.
worried.
They think you've been doing it for 20 years.
He knew I hadn't been doing it, but I made out that obviously all the sessions we've done in training, I made out those were part of what I'd been doing.
Of course.
So he wasn't aware he was my first paid session.
Good.
But I was so cross with myself, and I was like, oh, I didn't do aversion therapy. Oh, is it going to work? And when I messaged him a week later, like I said I would, I was so nervous what he was going to say, because I was like, oh God, has he really quit? And then he's like, yeah, not touched one, not thought about it, can't believe it, you're amazing.
But you see though, they don't contact you. No. When it's worked, they don't contact you and say, hey, you're brilliant by the way. And then the poor new hypnotist is thinking, do I even ask them? Because surely they would have told me if it worked. No, they'll tell you if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So yes, please always follow up.
So then,
which is what you must have been through.
The next, so I've done 2 smokers and a vapor. And so the next one I felt a little bit more prepared. But again, they say different things because it's for different reasons.
Thank you.
They smoke for different reasons. They all vape and smoke for different reasons.
So it's the best gift I can give you, the meta-questioning.
Completely. Because when I learned hypnotherapy through an online course, it was all script-based. And I've got books at home of scripts. They're utter rubbish. Because they wouldn't fit with the individual person. It's just a blanket, people smoke, say this to them, and that may well work for some people. But it's not going to be as effective as the right questions early on, get the information, go into it, chill out a bit, do it. And I can't wait to get to the point where I'm wanting the more different, quirky ones. I'm nowhere near there yet.
We've got one
at
2 o'clock.
If it's a smoker, I can deal with that. Let's go with smokers. But I can't wait to get to that point where I'm like, what's am I going to get?
Brilliant.